Welcome everyone back to the Gula Tech Adventures channel. Today we're discussing how to analyze shadow AI, but first an update on a slew of AI cybersecurity acquisitions that have been happening. Let me start with Check Point's acquisition of Lakera for around $300 million announced September 16th. Lakera was doing AI native security for what they call agentic AI environments, basically protecting AI models and agents from prompt injection attacks and data leakage. Check Point is clearly expanding into the full AI security stack, and Lakera's technology closes some critical gaps in runtime AI security. Next up, F5 Networks bought Calypso AI for $180 million in cash on September 11th. Calypso AI was focused on securing AI inference systems at runtime, protecting against prompt injections, jailbreaks, and data leakage. F5 is embedding this directly into their application delivery and security platform, which makes perfect sense as enterprises are deploying generative AI everywhere. CrowdStrike picked up Pangea for around $260 million, also announced September 16th. Pangea was building what they called AI detection and response, or AIDR, protecting AI interactions, prompt injection safety, agent workflow governance. This extends CrowdStrike's Falcon platform from endpoint and cloud security right into the AI security space. And finally, Cato Networks acquired AIM Security for somewhere between $300 to $350 million on September 3rd. AIM Security was doing enterprise AI security, guardrails, shadow AI monitoring, and security for both private and public AI models. This strengthens Cato's SaaS platform by embedding AI security capabilities, which is a smart differentiator in that crowded market. Now, what's really interesting about all these acquisitions is they're addressing the exact problem we're going to talk about today, shadow AI. Shadow AI is essentially the AI version of shadow IT. It's when employees or departments start using AI tools and services without going through proper IT approval or security review. Just like Shadow IT created security blind spots with unauthorized cloud services and applications, Shadow AI creates new risks because AI can be embedded in literally anything these days. The only real good way to identify and manage this risk is to understand the end user license agreements, the EULAs, for all the vendors you're using. And here's where it gets really important. Tracking EULA changes over time is critical because of something called, well, kids, you might want to cover your ears for this one, identification. This term was coined by Cory Doctorow back in November 2022. Doctorow describes this pattern where platforms start by providing great experiences to attract users, then they favor business customers like advertisers over end users, and finally they degrade service broadly to extract maximum profit for shareholders. The American Dialect Society actually chose identification as their word of the year in 2023. What this means for cybersecurity is that EULA changes that modify how your data is used can leak your data just as much as an unknown SaaS or AI service running in your environment. Let me show you a perfect example of this with Carta, the equity management platform. William Love, a senior counsel, wrote an excellent analysis of Carta's terms of service changes on LinkedIn back in September. According to Love's analysis, Carta's original new terms allowed them to analyze and use client data, including cap tables and financial documents, for AI and machine learning training. They could share this data with third parties for any reason, and they explicitly stated they had no obligation of confidentiality toward client submissions. This was incredibly concerning because cap table data includes shareholder information, financial data, and corporate documents, some of the most sensitive business intelligence a startup has. Now, if you don't have the funds to audit all of your services EULAs, and let's be honest, most companies don't, you can actually use Claude or ChatGPT to help analyze them. Here's the exact prompt we ran on ChatGPT asking it to analyze Carta's terms of service for privacy and data risks. And here's what ChatGPT told us about the privacy concerns. ChatGPT identified many of the same issues that William Love highlighted, the broad license over submissions, no obligation of confidentiality, rights surviving termination, and third-party data sharing. Both analyses agreed on the core problems. Carta granted itself very broad rights over highly sensitive financial data, explicitly disclaimed confidentiality obligations, and retained these rights even after you closed your account. The key difference is that Love's analysis provided more legal context about industry standards and regulatory concerns, while ChatGPT's analysis was more focused on the technical privacy implications. But here's the good news. There was enough pushback from the startup community that Carta actually revised their terms on September 25th, just 8 days after the problematic version. They removed the AI training language entirely, eliminated the third-party sharing clause, but they still kept rights to aggregated and anonymized data for product development. However, and this is still concerning, Carta still claims no obligation of confidentiality whatsoever regarding user submissions, which creates a real paradox for founders who must treat their cap tables as confidential. This whole situation shows that keeping attention on EULAs in terms of service changes is absolutely critical in this day and age. Thanks everyone for watching today's deep dive into shadow AI analysis and the importance of monitoring EULA changes. If you want to speak with a Gula Tech Adventures portfolio company who specializes in AI discovery and auditing, definitely check out Starseer. We actually did a great interview with their team about LLM auditing and AI model security that you should definitely watch. Until next time, stay secure out there.